On October 23rd, the Bank of Canada cut its key interest rate by 50 basis points down to 3.75%. This marks the fourth consecutive rate cut since June and is the most substantial decrease since March of 2020. Stick around for my personal advice at the end of this video or jump straight to it. Roll the intro. Seeing the volume of sales rise last month for the first time since May has been encouraging for Waterloo region. This trend shows that the market is moving towards balance and that buyers are feeling more confident. With that in mind, let's take a look at total sales. A total of 604 residential homes were sold through the MLS system in Waterloo region in October. This represents a 7.1% increase compared to the same period last year and a decrease of 14.2% compared to the average number of homes sold in the previous 10 years for the same month. So in plain English, May was sort of the peak with volume of sales. The summer tends to be slower. We're back in the fall market now, so it's no surprise we're getting a little bit of a higher volume of sales. Total residential sales in October included 383 detached homes, 49 semis, 104 townhomes, and 66 condo units. So that gives us a good overview of activity. Let's check out price. The average sale price for all residential properties in Waterloo region was just over $779,000, up 1.4% compared to October of 2023, but actually down 1.4% compared to September of this year. The average price for a detached home was just under $886,000. Semis were just over $650,000, townhomes were just over $643,000, and apartment-style condos were just over $484,000. Now, let's wrap up with volume. There were 1,144 new listings added to the MLS system in KW and area in October, which is basically the same as October 2023 and up almost 20% compared to the previous 10-year average for October. There were 1,711 homes available for sale in an active status at the end of October. This is an increase of 21% compared to October of 2023 and up almost 50% compared to the previous 10-year average of 1,153 listings for October. There were 3.1 months of inventory at the end of October, an increase of almost 20% compared to last year. Condo apartments had the highest inventory levels with 5.5 months supply, followed by townhouses with 3.8 months supply, and detached homes with 2.5 months supply. The average number of days to sell in October was 27, which is 1 day shorter than last month and 9 days longer than the previous 5-year average of 18 days. Okay, how will these changes and trends impact the rest of the market for 2024 and what's going to be happening in 2025? And what should you do if you're buying or selling in the next 3 to 6 months? So we've had 4 consecutive interest rate reductions. We've got the next Bank of Canada meeting on December 11th. I don't know if they're gonna lower the rate by 25 or 50 basis points, but that's an important date to look out for. Also, December 15th, the new mortgage rules come into effect with increased amortization ceilings and rates. And we'll see what sort of encouragement that brings in from the market, from the buyer side. Then in 2025, January 29th, we've got another Bank of Canada interest rate announcement. We'll see what happens then. Likely, I think they might lower again, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, what should you be doing if you're buying or selling? This year, folks, we've got about another month till the holiday season begins and we get the holiday lull from about mid-December or so until about mid-January. Things tend to soften up a lot. Inventory will come off the market and January is a lower inventory period for the beginning of the year. If you're thinking about selling in the spring, January might be a good time to entertain things, getting into the end of the month or even the mid part of the month where there's not a lot of competition on the market. And if you're on the market, then buyers that are looking in January, typically anyone looking in January needs to buy a home. They're not just casually browsing because it's nice weather. So anyone in the market is more serious, they have less selection, so you're a little bit more competitive that way. So that's something to consider. Also, if you're gonna be listing in January with the gloomy weather that we're gonna have, with snow, with clouds, it might make sense to get your exterior photography and video done now when it's still semi-nice outside and be prepared to strike quickly. Buyers in this market, there's lots of inventory. Things aren't moving as quickly, although some properties are still moving fairly quick if they're priced correctly and they show well. But many properties are on the market overpriced, whether that's the agent's fault with the wrong advice or unrealistic expectations from the sellers. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room with negotiations and a little bit more leverage. And sellers, if you're in the market now, you've got about another 4 to 6 weeks before Christmas begins, and it'll be a little bit of a dead time. So if you need to make price adjustments, it's better to do that sooner than later so you have some time and runway to get your home sold before the holidays. Starting off the year, folks, spring will be, in my opinion, with these interest rate cuts, the election results, I think spring is going to be bullish. I really do believe that the Bank of Canada is encouraging more buyers to get into the market by making it a more favorable environment to purchase a home. Although it's not great, it is better than it was months ago. So I do think that more buyers will come out of the woodworks and get into the market. I know we've certainly been getting more calls from buyers looking to get into the market or make a move, sell their place and buy something. So I expect next spring, probably even beginning at end of January, getting into February, it's gonna be a busy pre-spring market, and a spring market will be very robust. That's what I think. So let me know what your comments are. Let me know below. Shoot me an email. Give me a call if you guys have any questions. We'll see you next month. Take care. Peace out.